thought I was done doing cosplay tutorials? Bah! Preposterous! It's only been... Oh wow, that is a long time since the last one. It's not that I haven't been cosplaying, it's just that I haven't felt like filming the process for building them in a bit. But I got my cosplay partner in crime, Jacob, in town to hang out in person for the first time ever. This script was written in 2022. And our buddy Diego to tag along as well when we went to Denver Comic-Con Fan Expo Pop Culture, whatever the hell they're calling it now. Diego offhandedly mentioned that he didn't have anything to wear cosplay-wise other than an Ash Williams costume we were already using for another video, go watch it, and asked if he could borrow my cool Dredd replica helmet as a pseudo-cosplay. Obviously, Jacob and I, being the cosplay fiends we are, couldn't stand for that and elected to just build the entire costume for him in one day using stuff we got at the grocery store the morning before the convention. Stick around after this break to find out how it went. Special thanks to Raycon for sponsoring us once again. Raycon earbuds are disrupting the electronics industry by making great sound for half the price of other premium audio brands. Raycon earbuds charge enough for 32 hours of battery life with up to 8 hours of uninterrupted playtime, letting you seamlessly connect with Bluetooth devices. They're compact, comfortable, and portable with easy-to-use functions for toggling between 3 customizable sound profiles, noise isolation, and awareness mode. They come in a variety of customizable colors, patterns, and fits for extra comfort and no dangling wires or stems. Co-founded by Ray J, Raycons are a hit with celebrities like Snoop Dogg and J.R. Smith, who I've definitely heard of because he was in the Nuggets for a little while. I've been enjoying them while taking them on summer trips with my friends like Denver Fan Expo or the Stanley Hotel. Click the link in the description box or go to buyraycon.com/GodzillaMendoza to get 15% off your Raycon purchase. Now back to the video. Judge Dredd is a cool character that doesn't get brought up enough on this channel. No, it's not propaganda, it's a satire about how over-policing makes crime substantially worse in this completely jaded future society, and Joseph Dredd is a weirdo that has no social life and arrests people for completely ridiculous and benign things. Also, sometimes he fights a ghost that was ripped off to be an overexposed Batman villain. His costume in the comics is really garish and bright and loud and arguably hard as shit to move your arms in, but that's kinda the fun of it! Homelander stole his shoulder pads. Given that we had an already extremely limited timetable to pull off a decent Dredd look, we couldn't go for something quite so extravagant, and opted instead for a mix between the more grounded Karl Urban body armor look and the original comic version. My dad got this helmet for me for Christmas from a seller on Etsy, and it's really high quality. It fits well, it's comfortable, and it's made of a sturdy material that looks good on camera. It's exactly how I imagine a real Judge helmet would feel, given that it's one of the more comfortable sci-fi helmets out there. Believe me, I've tried on a lot of sci-fi helmets. Mike Judge over here is practically just wearing a hard hat and sunglasses, and it makes sense how you could wear it all day without taking it off because it doesn't really impede your ability to do anything. Although I'll say that the weird cross-section of red dipping into your peripheral is a strange choice, but eventually you don't even notice it. What purpose does that entire design element serve? Doesn't matter, it looks cool, you nitpicky asshole. So yeah, I cheated and the most complex single component of the build was purchased from someone who assuredly has better equipment and skills than I do, but that's part of cosplay. If you can't build it, buy it. If you can't buy it, make it out of cardboard. That took a lot of the difficulty out so we could figure out the rest of the design.
No, okay, no, you go like this, and we get him a pirate hat, and he'll say, "Yar, it's driving me nuts!" Yeah?
Seeing as how it was based on the 2011 Dredd armor, it was handy that Diego brought this black BMX chest guard to recycle when we made the Aliens video. He just peeled the stickers off and it was good to go. Having some spare components lying around like this is good because something nondescript like that can be used for a variety of cosplays. If you paint it yellow, you can be Cyrax. You can glue foam to it and have it be the basis of some Spartan Mjolnir armor. Or you can use it to get shot at with paintballs by your friends that aren't actually your friends. They just like hurting you, and you should really start talking to new people because this isn't healthy for anyone involved. Given that this armor was a nice and versatile piece to use for various suits, I didn't want to make any alterations to it that couldn't be undone, so it could be recycled by Diego again should he find another cosplay it could work for. So everything attached to it had to be easily detachable, which added to the difficulty of the cosplay, along with the bad time limit. That's why I decided to use this Velcro tape I found at Walmart. It's sticky on one side and Velcro-y on the other side. We also found these painter knee pads that would be like the perfect size and shape for some Dredd stuff if they were gold. Judges need comfortable knee pads because cops suck dick! Ooh, edgy! Actually, on the list of punchlines I could have made there, that's like the 7th edgiest. I've mellowed out in my old age. I found 2 gray hairs the other day. I'm only 25. I wonder if it's just a vitamin deficiency or if it's stress related or both. I also had a weird dream that same day where a nuclear reactor melted down and burned all my skin and it was peeling off and sticking to my charred clothes in a glowing desert. I think I'm on the verge of a mental breakdown. Please hit the bell icon so you get notifications when I upload, because God knows the sub box and I aren't on speaking terms lately. Be sure to also join the Patreon because we've got some cool exclusive videos on there every once in a while and it's really cheap. Oh yeah, anyway, we found this car floor mat at the grocery store too and realized it would make a great way for creating some detailed makeshift armor. We chopped it up with an X-Acto knife. As always, make sure to cut towards yourself so the adrenaline and fear of being cut makes you more precise with the blade. I stabbed my thumb and it prevented me from comfortably eating chicken wings for several days. This section here was perfect for that classic Judge Dredd asymmetrical shoulder pad and evoked the same look, while also being a small enough size that it didn't look too big compared to the other shoulder. I painted the knee pad with some glossy Plasti-Dip spray to rubberize the foam and give the gold layer a more shiny metallic look. It makes the material stronger, but it also primes it for paint more effectively so it doesn't look like foam at first glance.
While he worked on that, I was hard at work masking off this $10 laser gun we got at the convention earlier that day, so he could turn it into a cool lawgiver pistol like in the movies.
He was so meticulous about the masking that he even used a layer of toothpaste to mask the parts that he couldn't easily get tape around, but wanted to remain silver. I painted that shoulder pad and then busted out the craft foam to do the opposite side. The movie version of this shoulder pad retains the golden eagle imagery, but keeps it rounded off and flush with his arm instead of a big and blocky thingy. I wanted to find a middle ground that was a similar shape to the movie version, but had the same dimension and silliness of the original. So I opted to use a knee pad as a base and build off of it, using the pattern from the movie, but having the wings of the bird going past the edges and wrapping around more of his shoulder. If we had more time to make this than in a single night, it would have been more layered and detailed, but I had to settle for something simple enough to make under a time crunch, but also evoke the right look. After that, I created this goofy little block of foam to add to the front of the pistol to capture more of the lawgiver aesthetic from the Dredd movie. I went to the Star Wars School of Sci-Fi Design, which means adding random dimensional square panels on machinery that has no specified function. Then you can stab some screws into your foam-crafted metal stuff so it looks more believable when those catch the light and are visible as real metal. My foam crafting was a little messy, much like me as a person, but Jacob was able to bring it all together with some really clever painting. He did a layer of dry brushing with black paint on the light areas and silver on the darker components to weather the gun, the gloves, and the armor. That element really brought out the grit and grime we were looking for and made everything just look a little more real.
Okay, so I just shoot the gold in this cup.
Yeah, and set it down on the cardboard, because one time I did this in a red Solo cup, and that shit melted the bottom of the plastic cup.
How?
I don't know, but it did.
How? It's not hot. Funny little man.
See? What the?
How does that happen?
I don't know, the plastic doesn't like the chemicals. Alright, next cup.
With that cool car floor mat all painted up, we cut some small slits into it and used zip ties to fasten it to the chest armor through a few holes for ventilation that were already there. Again, we wanted all of this to be reversible if he needed that armor for something else later on. That and the golden foam armor additions really pulled the Judge Dredd look together with a semi-futuristic, semi-gaudy, patriotic look. Diego's own personal contribution to the suit was this custom-made badge that he bought on Etsy with his name engraved on it. That really was the cherry on top that made the whole thing look a little more official than the sum of its parts. So I velcroed that onto the chest and he was ready to go. We went to the convention and Diego made it a point to keep his helmet on the entire damn time, and he got a lot of really positive responses, and was stopped for pictures so many times we lost count. Look at that smile. That was $70 well spent or whatever. Next time we'll do Deadpool. Look forward to that, goobers.
I don't have a Judge helmet, but I have a Judge sleepy eye mask.
I always get mad at YouTube for not putting my videos in the subscription box because people will comment, "Finally, Xavier uploads again after all these years," not knowing 3 other videos came out within the last month already. So maybe that stupid bell icon thing will help you remember I exist. If you want other ways to support the channel, you can always go hit up that Patreon for early videos and exclusive stuff because it's just $1. I'm not kidding, it's only $1. Isn't that cool? If everyone who watched this video donated $1 a month, I'd be able to afford a house for myself, so that would be really cool. You can also check out our merch on TeePublic, or just buy some of my random stuff on eBay. I have a pretty substantial collection of old toys that are still in the box in perfect condition, so go take a look in case you find something you like. And lastly, since this is a YouTube video and you probably play Fortnite, drop my creator code XavierGM next time you buy a silly dance or a cool character skin. Really helps me out. See you next time.
Yeah, because the worst shit.